Freedom Seekers. I'm back for another briefing today because I got to thinking about, and nobody's talking about this yet, that is that we are going to go through a phase, a period of hyperinflation around the world. You see, these various governments, including the government in the United States and many other governments, in order to respond to all of the needs that this situation is going to create, they're going to have to start printing money. They can't allow the economies of their countries and around the world to just collapse. And so the governments are going to have to boost it up. They're going to have to, do things to make sure that people don't lose their homes, to make sure that people don't lose their businesses, and to bolster the economies and all kinds of things they're going to have to do to help people to survive the fallout that's what we're seeing going on right now every day in the news. And it's going to get a lot worse before it gets any better. The Dow today dropped almost 2,400 points, the biggest drop since 2008, the news said. And right now it's still over 21,000 points, and it's still going to drop down. I predict it'll drop down into something around 16,000 point range. And so people are wondering about their IRAs and retirements and so forth. If you've got 5 or more years before retirement, don't worry about it at all. It'll all recover. But the thing that I do want you to be prepared for is inflation. You see, as the governments respond to these things going on around the world, they're going to have to print money. There's just no way around it. The things will collapse if governments aren't printing money. And now we've seen time and again what happens when governments start having to print money. There's hyperinflation that takes place. Well, we've seen it happen on scales of regional basis or country by country, but we've never seen it on a globalized scale like is about to happen. Because you see, the governments from around the world are going to have to start to print money, I believe, in order to cover and bolster the economy and cover the impact that is going on. And so what can you do? Well, if you've never been through an hyperinflation or even an inflationary period before, what happens is that wages lag behind increases in price. And so goods start to go up in price, and you start to feel that pinch because your money simply is not going very far. And when you got hyperinflation, you've got a hard pinch. And so my recommendation is to start buying all the paper goods and dry goods and canned goods, things that you can stock up and have a 1 to 2 year supply of. If I'm wrong about all this, then it really did you no harm. But if I'm right about this, then once hyperinflation kicks in, what will happen is that people will start talking about, the media will start talking about this hyperinflation, and people are going to run out to buy these goods that have drive prices up, and it's going to create shortages, so they're not even available oftentimes, which drive prices up more, and your income sits here, and you're left holding the bag without. So don't wait for that to happen. Take some action now. Over the next month or 2 months, start stocking up on these things, paper goods, dry goods, and canned goods, so that you're paying for those with today's dollars, and you'll have them tomorrow to thank me.